Well, greetings, valued travel partners. And it's because the second webinar of the month, that means welcome also to our amazing, valuable guests, right? Your clients that are our guests. So we're happy to have you. Super excited to be here. Uh, yes, so am I. True QT78. I like that. I like that. So I got to tell you, it's always technical, right? Woo! If you're in South Florida, if you're in Florida, period, you've seen the monsoon, okay? The weather's horrific. So just want to let everybody know, just in case we go, don't worry, we have cast of thousands. Hello from Maryland, Cassio. We're all doing well, right? I said that to my poor Uber driver when he picked me up. Hello, if you wake up and you're 6 foot above and not 6 foot under, it is a good day. So super excited to be here with all of you. It feels like forever. So of course, as always, you know, we are recording it. And we will have, so if you're with, obviously for our travel advisors, onesourcecruises.com, and we'll also stick around for some Q&A. And I'm very excited about today's webinar specifically, and we'll talk why in a second. But of course, QR codes. By the way, I am happy to report that I finally used my business card. So we're not doing business cards anymore. We're not printing them up. We have one, and it has a QR code, and it downloads everything. So I was in a conference last week, and it works. And all I have is that. It looks like a little credit card, and I'm good to go. Of course, we are the QR kings and queens, because Joe loves QR codes. And guess who's joining me? Everybody's favorite, Marsha.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Carmen.
Yeah. I feel like I've been seeing you forever. Has it been that long?
No, like yesterday.
No. First of all, I didn't see you yesterday.
Not in person.
I don't think like a webinar backdrop or a Teams or Zoom is seeing you, Marsha. I mean personally.
Okay, so June. It was probably since June. It's been a little while.
Seems like forever. Yeah. So guess why I'm dressed up in this getup? See how have you ever seen me wear flowers?
I don't think I have.
That is correct. I don't normally wear flowers, but I'm wearing flowers for today's webinar because this is my Japan dress. I was just in Japan. I was so excited. You know, we went in July.
Just in Japan.
And boy, is it exciting. So our Connect with Princess webinar today will focus, obviously, our brilliant return to Japan with the Diamond Princess in 26. And boy, is that correct. Dazzling, distinctive, delightful, having been there in July. And we escorted an elite group, that's all I'm going to say, of travel advisors. And it was a wow. So this was like my special tribute to Japan. So I thought I'd wear it.
I love it. It's very pretty.
Isn't it bright? I love it. It's super bright. But I'll tell you what's even brighter and even more exciting was this Japan experience. You know, as a destination, it's super hot. You know
yes.
That, right?
Yes, especially in the summer.
All the well, not hot like that. Oh, God, help us. The humidity was rough. But you know what? Can I tell you, I'm from South Florida. I'm used to humidity. I'm like, everybody's got to toughen up. That's what you're here for. Destination immersion, cultural immersion. I think Japan as a destination is probably the poster child, the number one reason people travel, right? It's to see the destination, to immerse themselves in the culture. It checks every single box. So
it does.
Luckily, you've been to Japan too.
I have.
And?
It was amazing. I actually got to go with our amazing partner, JNTO, and Dana, our business development manager in Arizona, got to join me. And
wait a second, is that you all? Is that you in a kimono?
That is us in a kimono. Isn't it great?
I'm not very happy. You're making my flower dress look like nothing. Am I right? Why is it that you always, that's why you're Marsha, and the favorite.
Well,
look at that. I had the sake ritual.
We didn't get that. So you upped me there.
That's a beautiful picture, though. Talk about immersion. That is beautiful.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was an amazing trip.
Yeah, I was excited. Right. So luckily, we have an expert, right? Because we're back and obviously on sale.
Today.
Right now, it's Loyalty Week, right? We do the Loyalty Week. Today's the day. So I think the timing was absolutely perfect. And really, I think because I had just gotten back and I said to Joe and you, we need to do a Japan focus because we had done one earlier in the year, which was fabulous. And I think it was Daniel that was the one doing the webinar with us. But I really think we needed an expert. And the JNTO and their partnership with us, because they were on. So Yoko was on our cruise. And let me talk about immersion, talk about exclusive, talk about unique, to see the destination with them. Their partnership is beyond amazing. It really is authentic. They're just great partners, and I'm thrilled that every time we do like a CLIA Cruise 360 or Cruise World, they're always there to support us. And we've
They're
even done
always there with us.
in Fort Lauderdale.
Absolutely.
We did an event here preparing everybody and getting them excited about Japan.
Yeah.
It is the hottest destination, not just climate. Thank you very much. Oh my
Yes.
goodness. Oh,
Selling
I
like
love you.
hotcakes hot. I get it now.
Yes, it is now. I'm telling you, we don't call bucket lists here. We don't talk about that. We talk about life lists. And this is on
Absolutely.
everybody's life list. So very
Yes.
excited to feature Japan. Obviously, we're going to have 50 departures, 38. Look
Yep.
at the voyage length, 9 to 28. I had a 7-day voyage. What was yours?
Well, I was all on land. So, but it was 8 days.
Even more. I want to do all land.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cruising is amazing. Should do both.
Yeah.
Love our cruise
Yeah.
tours. Now, this is impressive. 18 UNESCO sites on one ship. Okay,
Incredible.
so this is going to be amazing. Now, did you get to see the mountain? I mean, was it clear?
I did. Yeah, I had a.
Okay, you're one-upping me every step of the way, aren't you?
We have beautiful pictures, and I have like this really pretty sunset picture that I was going to put as my background, but then you couldn't see me, so couldn't do that. But
Okay,
we do also have a great sizzle video that we're going to share with everybody before we bring our special guest on.
Fantastic. Phenomenal. Woohoo is right. Talk about amazing, right? I think it's fantastic. And of course, we need a subject matter expert. Not that you and I aren't, because we were there. We could probably immerse everybody. But boy, Rose, you will paint this picture, this incredible canvas. You will immerse us and really bring us into the fold and bring Japan to life as only you could do. Because we did a run earlier this week and you did such an amazing job. I'm like, I think I'm going to just sit back and have some sake. I wish I did. I wish I could. And of course, you're the marketing coordinator based in LA for JNTO.
Mm-hmm.
I got to tell you, thank you. Thank you to you and the entire JNTO team, because the partnership that we share is so unique to Princess. And everybody just saw. So if you saw, Diamond Princess was purpose built for Japan and this market. So it pulls at the heartstrings, and it's a very unique experience. How long have you been with the JNTO? I told you, Rose, to get ready. I like the Cuban version of Oprah, okay? Marsha will tell you, I love to ask questions. How long have you been with the JNTO?
I've only been with JNTO for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years, but I actually lived in Japan for almost 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Were you studying? What were you doing in Japan for 10 years? That's incredible.
All sorts. I was studying. I did a study abroad. Then I moved there to teach English. And then I was working as a tour guide. So I've kind of worn a few different hats in my time there.
So are you fluent in Japanese?
I am.
What? How do you say welcome? I'm putting on the
irasshai.
Nestai.
Or yokoso is also good.
Oh, so why cruise Japan? I get this from a lot of folks because until you're there, you really don't understand it. But if you're a consumer, so if it's one of our guests that are watching, I mean, this is what I get every time I'm at a consumer event. They're like, oh my God, you have a dedicated ship in Japan, purpose built. So I'm going to let you paint the picture, because frankly, it's not just the authenticity. It is the warmth of the people, of the traditions, of the culture. I mean, it was spectacular.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's a good question. I mean, definitely Japan's not the first destination people think of when they think of cruising, but it's gained so much popularity in recent years. It's now sort of one of the top destinations for cruising. And like you said, it's on everyone's bucket list these days. So a few different
lifeless reasons. Rose, lifeless. We don't talk bucket. Bucket's like
lifeless. I'm going to adapt that into my vernacular.
It's a Carmenism. You'll get used to them.
No, it's great. I love it. Yeah, so first off, Japan does a really great job of delivering tradition and culture alongside kind of the modern metropolises. So when it comes to luxury these days, travelers don't just want material goods. They want these really authentic, immersive experiences that feel exclusive and unique. So Japan is great for this because you get that immersion in the countryside, but you also get your creature comforts, the modern amenities. And with cruising, you really get the best of both worlds because with these itineraries, you're going to ports all over the country. So you'll see a side of the country that that the land only itineraries don't necessarily cover. So it's just a really unique opportunity. And so in terms of cruising, Japan has over 50 major ports throughout the country. So again, this is a really accessible way to get a taste of regionality when you're going from north to south. So it is a really longitudinal island, right? So you have subarctic areas up north, you've got subtropical down south, and kind of everything under the sun in between. So it's really popular for adventure travelers, for diving, cycling, skiing, hiking. But if you're like me and you more relax in nature, not as athletic, you can relax in flower fields, go to traditional gardens and parks, and you'll see in the itineraries coming up that, again, you can go from north to south. You get to enjoy that vast variety of local landscapes, geology, and forestry. But
I mean, a picture's worth 1,000 words, and those pictures are stunning because I got to tell you, I'm geographically challenged. I would have never thought, that's based on the array of those shots, that Japan can offer all of that, right? And again, check every box on our life list, right? Really critical.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to obviously talk about food. You can't talk about Japan without talking about food, right? So it is a UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage, officially designated. Not everyone knows, though, that Tokyo has the most Michelin star rated restaurants of any city in the world.
Wow.
Ooh, I never knew that. How many are there? That's incredible. Do we know?
I think we are hovering this year around 200, just
Wow.
for Tokyo alone. Yeah,
That's amazing.
Lots of restaurants.
That's a reason to go to Japan alone, right? If you're a collector of Michelin star experiences, wow. I would have never thought that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're going to have to stay there a while to taste all of them. And it's not just Tokyo that has them, but Tokyo has the most in the world. But really, there's no greater joy, I think, than getting to morning markets at port, trying the fresh hauls of the day. And it's so affordable right now. The exchange rate currently is about 150 yen to the dollar. So that's 50% more than usual. So it's just a really great time to go fiscally as well. Yeah. But people often ask me, when is the best time to go? And if I'm giving the honest answer, there's really no wrong time because every season has something special, whether that's the festivals and fireworks in the summer. That's also when Mount Fuji is open to climb. In the autumn, you have these gorgeous shots of fall foliage, great for hikes. Winter is a great time for sports and also soaking in those hot springs. And then, of course, in the spring, you have those iconic cherry blossoms. So if you're ever torn between these sailings, go with your schedule. I promise you, no matter what time you go, you're going to have a blast. And then, of course, what makes Princess Cruises really stand out isn't just all of the accolades that you guys have received as a cruise line in Asia, of course, but really these broad-reaching itineraries that hone in on those cultural aspects of Japan, from the food to the festivals to the unique regional experiences. I mean, you guys just really make this great effort to deliver that immersion both on board and off, with excursions that really show an appreciation for the locality in the country.
Absolutely. And you're absolutely right. It's not just obviously the destination. And I highly recommend, because when you're doing, like Marcia did, just land tours, right? And I just did the cruise portion. And I wish I had just added a land tour, either pre, post, and did more of the immersive stuff. Because 7 days on a ship is phenomenal. We got the culture and we got a taste, but it's not enough, right? And so I highly recommend.
You definitely need more time.
Absolutely.
I always say it's great if you can pair both together, just get all that regionality, but then really get that time on land to sink your teeth into the destination.
Yeah, my sales tip is always the same, Rose, which I tell, because it's no different like when we're marketing Alaska, right? You're going a long way. You've got that air amount, whether you're going to Europe, whether you're going to Alaska, and you're going to Japan, and there's an investment in that air ticket, right? So just I mean, I say amortize that cost by making your experience, and you recommend it to our clients, to our guests, your clients, longer than just the cruise. Make it the cruise tour as well, because that's a long ways to go and you're doing them a favor. I mean, I think that's always my tip of the day, to truly immerse yourself fully.
Yes. Agreed.
Absolutely. In Japanese, there's a phrase, sekkaku dakara, like you might as well, right? You're already there. Like you're already doing it. So make the most of it, right? So I should probably mention, in terms of home-based ports, of course, I'm sure people here who are familiar with cruising are familiar with Yokohama. It's probably the most well-known port, and this is where cruises typically will start and end. The city is really a gem in its own right. So of course, it's right next to Tokyo, so people will spend time there. But you can easily have a fabulous time in Yokohama, strolling around the Minato Mirai port area, going shopping, going to the ramen museum, trying regional ramens, going to Yokohama Chinatown, trying the bites there, seeing some temples and statues in Kamakura. There's so much that you can do just in Yokohama. So if you kind of want to stay close to port, you can have a great time here before hopping on your cruise.
Absolutely. It was fabulous. Okay, so there's an 11-day Japan Explored. Again, we're talking 2026, right? So I
Spring
love
flowers.
Which is, this is like everybody talks about, this is when we should go. And I love that you said the 4 seasons, because there's something for everyone, right? And so this is the what would you call it? Just the characteristic, iconic time of year that everybody thinks they need to go, right? So let's talk about where this cruise is going, because if you think about it, woof, round trip Yokohama, phenomenal. In and of itself, a destination. And late nights. Talk to me about this. I didn't have a late night on my cruise. Wish I had.
Yeah, no, I mean, this itinerary really goes from north to south. I mean, it fully encompasses so much of what you can see. It's hard to go into all of them. I'll go into some of these port areas as we go along with all the itineraries. But I can talk a little bit about that late night in Shimizu. By talking a little bit more about that central area of Japan. So if you go to the next slide, so that's the central Japan area, Chubu, Hokuriku, Shinetsu. I know it's a mouthful, just know that it's Japan.
Oh, you're such a show-off, just like Marsha. Look at you.
I spent 10 years in Japan just to say that sentence, so
incredible.
Paid off. So as you travel this area, you'll go through what's known as the rooftop of Japan. So on the next slide, you'll see just really gorgeous scenery here. It's named for having the highest mountain ranges in the country, so very popular for hiking, climbing, skiing, snowboarding. But when you travel through here, you'll find so many opportunities to feel like you've stepped back in time. So some of the excursions that Princess operates here will allow you to stroll these traditional districts like Higashichaya on the top right there, just gorgeous traditional. That fairy tale-esque valley hamlet, Shirakawa-go on the left there, just absolutely stunning. It looks like it's been plucked right out of a story. I actually visited both of these places last month for a work trip, so I can vouch for both of them, that I cannot recommend them enough. But let's talk about Shimizu more specifically, that port that you'll have that late night at. So on the next slide, you'll see it's especially known for its views of Mount Fuji. And also, fun fact, it's known for its wasabi. So not everyone knows that the wasabi you eat here in the States is actually artificially colored horseradish, which is a relative of wasabi, but it's not quite the real deal, right? Now I'm blowing some minds right now.
And I love wasabi.
Yeah,
I'm having fake wasabi.
Place to get the real deal with some really select sushi. Also, the area is known for its green tea. So there is an excursion that you can do where you can visit a tea plantation. Great way to get your hands dirty for that sort of interactive culinary experience. I also was here last month, so I can also vouch for the tea here. It's probably one of the best places in Japan that you can learn about it. Just really, really incredible.
That's amazing. You just blew my mind. I did not know that.
I did not either. Oh, boy. Wow. Okay. See, we learned something new. By the way, you missed the snow monkeys. I was going to ask about that, but I know that we have a lot of content. I'm like, snow monkeys? I didn't see that. You see why I have to go back, Rose? I mean, seriously. There
There's
is a
just too much
reason.
to see. You can't cover it in one go.
Agreed.
The snow monkeys, you can see, like it's accessible from Tokyo if you take the bullet train at least. So, you know, if you're really dying to see them during that season, real easy to get there.
Fantastic.
So we've got a 14-day Grand Japan with fall foliage. That's in November. That has another late night in Osaka. And then visits Kyoto. I got to go to Kyoto and it was amazing. Did you go to Kyoto?
I did not.
Carmen?
Stop rubbing it in. Okay, so the 7-day cruise. It's enough. That's why I have to go back. But I want Rose to come with me. And maybe I should be there for 10 years and I could speak as fluent and beautiful as she. It's like a sing song. I feel like I missed a lot, right? And that's even more of a reason.
So,
supposed to go back next May.
When we talk about time, so we showed another itinerary too. So this 14-day itinerary can combine with the earlier October 28th sailing, and you can make it a 28-day voyage and see, I mean, the best of Japan, right?
All of it. Love it.
Yeah, no, that time going to Japan is, personally, autumn's my favorite time. I just love that fall foliage. So yeah, it has a late night where you can access Kyoto and Osaka. So the port you'll actually stop at would be Kobe. And this is just a really incredible port in Japan. You've all probably heard of Kobe beef. Maybe you've tried it. Yeah, known for kind of melting in your mouth, right? It's really marbled, really incredible. But there's nothing like having it locally, right? Nice, fresh, and local. And also, not everyone knows that Kobe is the leading sake producer in Japan. So there's even a sake tour excursion that you guys do. So that's absolutely incredible to pair with that Kobe beef. There's also an excursion you can do next door to Himeji Castle. This is one of the, arguably the most visited castles in Japan. It's so beautiful in the spring and the autumn. And there's a neighboring garden, Kokoen Garden, that you visit as well. Really, really incredible sights to see there.
Beautiful. All of it. Magical and mystical.
Okay, so the Nibutu Festival is super
now,
popular.
Did you see a festival while you were there, Marcia? I mean,
I did not see a festival.
Goodness. Okay, neither did I. So I guess we're on equal standing. But I mean, Rose, the festivals are, it's a tradition, right? So go ahead and dress us in that experience, because this is, I think I would just absolutely love this.
No, absolutely. So this is a really interesting itinerary to highlight that you really won't find the same kind of focus anywhere else. So depending on when you choose to go to Japan, you can experience matsuri or festivals. So typically these would celebrate or honor Japan's native religion, historical figures, just local culture. So Japan really welcomes tourists to take part in these kinds of iconic events. It makes for some great memories for going home. On the next slide, you can see kind of the wide variety of the types of festivals that you can enjoy, from dance troops to vibrant floats to fireworks displays. And summer is festival season. So this is really the perfect itinerary to experience those. Really great time to consider a sailing. And actually, I can highlight one of those areas. Yeah, it's just such a good time to go. And I tell people, if you want to go to a festival, go in the summer. So actually, one of the festivals that you highlight on this itinerary takes place in Tohoku. So this is kind of the north of Japan. It's known for its nature. So you've got hiking trails, gorges, caves, coastlines. It's a huge draw for adventure travelers. And it's also the leading producer of rice in the country. So I talked about sake earlier. Where you get great rice, you get great sake. So visit a brewery while you're here. So the festival to really highlight here is in Aomori. You can see on the bottom right there that there's the Ebuta Festival. So this includes these massive floats that depict Japanese gods, mythical creatures. They're paraded all around town. It happens only once a year in early August. So catching it on this itinerary really nets you some incredible bragging rights as well.
Wow.
We don't have those yet. We don't have those yet. Coming soon. We'll have those bragging rights, Carmen.
Yeah. Got to go back. So this is a central Japan explore, right? Again, round trip Yokohama, which is amazing. And again, you have options. So in June and in October, and again, the same late night, which is great. I just love the variety of options, right? Whether it's 9 days, 14 days, 28 days, truly incredible. And the times of year. So they've got lots of choices. I think that's wonderful. When you have a dedicated ship, Cassie says, are there excursions you recommend for those who are chefs who would love this type of voyage? That's a great question. Is there a specific excursion? I think you talked about, the Kobe beef, I think, and you also talked about, obviously, sushi. I mean, there's got to be a million and one things to do. Chef
and all the
related.
Michelin star restaurants.
Our restaurants, over 200.
I mean, I looked at your list of excursions. I was actually pretty flabbergasted at the vast number of excursions that you guys offer. Really, really incredible. So there are foodie experiences that you can have on pretty much every one of these sailings. So trust that you'll have the opportunity to enjoy for sure.
So this one, so Busan, can I go back? Just tell me.
Oh yeah.
That was right in South Korea. I think most folks don't realize that some of these itineraries do touch upon South Korea, and that's a unique experience in and of itself, right? I mean, I thought it was really moving. So love that we incorporate that. Is there anything else? Like, because obviously, is that a festival too? Look at that gorgeous picture. Like, that's spectacular.
Oh, up in Busan?
Yes, in Busan.
Can't speak to that since I'm more the Japan expert, but
I wanted to throw it in there because it looks, it was a good highlight as well. People loved it.
Right? And then also just notice the late night, right? For the ability to also get to Mount Fuji again.
Yeah, so I mean, this itinerary, it's central, right? So it's a good opportunity to kind of talk about kind of central, and it also goes very west as well. So there are a few different regions here to mention. If we skip a couple slides, we can get to the first one, Kansai. So that's really very central. We talked about it a little bit. Actually, it's where Kyoto and Osaka are, which I'll also get into in a bit. But it has so much more than that. There's so many ports in this area. From the Ama divers, you can see up there. These are traditionally female divers who dive without oxygen tanks to forage for shellfish and pearls off the coasts. You can do spiritual pilgrimages in this area that wind all throughout that southern peninsula, called the Kumano Kodo. A really, really incredible opportunity to visit some temples and shrines. You can walk a portion of it while you're in port. And if you're on that earlier festival sailing, there's actually a festival here that you can enjoy, the Kumano Fireworks Festival as well in the summer. And then if you move a little bit more west beyond Kansai, there's the Chugoku region. So a lot of sailings will pass through the inland sea here, but the major port here is Hiroshima. So you can visit UNESCO World Heritage Sites. You can visit the famous Miyajima Island. You can see on the bottom right there, it's known for that beautiful red torii gate that looks like it's floating over the water. And the whole area is also really known for having sunny weather. So it's sort of an agricultural hub, great fruits, veggies, dairy products. I actually lived in this area for about 4.5 years, and I've been spoiled rotten by all of the fruit here. It's just really, really just sweet and juicy and incredible.
Amazing.
Insider scoops here, right? Like, hello.
Hey, Carmen, you're going to be jealous, but a couple slides back, we showed the Nara Deer Park, and I got to go to the Nara Deer Park.
Of course you did.
I'll have another picture of that in a future slide for Kyoto, but yeah, that park is just so fabulous.
Yeah. So we've got the 7-day round trip to Tokyo, which is Yokohama, but very near Tokyo as well. That is June 21st on the beautiful Diamond Princess again. We're going to talk more about Diamond Princess because there's a reason why it's Diamond Princess in Japan. But again, another focus on the late night so that you can enjoy Mount Fuji.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for this area, I mean, for a lot of these itineraries, they do visit some of these more southern areas, but this is a great place to introduce it, going down to those southern kind of areas like Shikoku and Kyushu. So first of all, Shikoku, so that's that little island kind of at the bottom there, and it's got that inland sea separating it from the mainland. So yes, you can see kind of on the rightmost island. So there's that little inland sea there. So that island is really well known for its rivers. So it's considered one of the premier destinations for whitewater rafting, paddleboarding, lots of great excursions you can do at port, like visiting Kochi Castle you can see here, also Katsurahama Beach, beautiful views of the Pacific. You can visit Shodoshima Island on the top right there. It's known for those almost like Grecian looking olive groves that they have. Also, a few more of those summer festivals from that earlier itinerary take place here. And I have to talk about the food just because it's unbelievable. It's well known for that seared bonito that you can see on the right there. Just really, really savory. And also, some of my favorites, there's sweet potato fries and there's citrus fruit. So these are just really bold, kind of bright flavors to enjoy in port. And also, I have to mention sake again because water is also very important for sake. So they use the purest water from the rivers here. So you get these really bold, dry sakes in port here as well.
Amazing.
A little more south is Kyushu. So this is also known for nature. So seismic activity over the years has formed volcanoes, calderas, plateaus, geothermal hot springs. So it's really well known as a hot spring area. So if you're looking to take a load off and relax, this is the perfect place for it. A lot of people head out in nature for the day and then kind of soak those sore muscles as a reward afterwards. Lots of amazing excursions you can do here. The one I would have to recommend is going to Ibuski. You can see on the bottom there where you can have a sand bath. So these are warmed by the hot springs. Yeah, it's a local beauty treatment. So if you really want to kick back and relax, you can soak in hot springs, then soak in some sand, and then hop back on board. It's exclusive to the Kagoshima area.
Very cool. Very cool.
Amazing. So we have our 19-day Southern Islands, Hokkaido Spring Flowers. So round trip Yokohama again, and that's offered in April. So April 19th, you can combine the 10-day Spring Flowers that's on April 19th with a 9-day on the Southern Islands and make it a 19-day as well.
Yeah, this is a really, really interesting way to see from north to south because you go straight up from north to south. You'll get to see kind of that contrast between the subtropical area of Okinawa to the subarctic area of Hokkaido. Granted, this is in the spring, so you won't find it to be so frigid up north. But starting with Okinawa, so on the next slide, you'll see that this is one of Asia's leading diving spots. It's known for its subtropical climate. So then on the next one, you'll see all of these incredible activities you can do on the water, like snorkeling, surfing. You can also go mangrove kayaking, just even do beach yoga. The excursions you can do here really allow you to see kind of the distinctness of culture between Okinawa and the mainland because it does have its own unique culture as it used to be its own kingdom. Okinawans are known for having the highest life expectancy in the country. So you can try some Okinawan food, see what all the fuss is about. And there's some really novel activities you can do as well. One I often recommend that you can do from Ishigaki Port is do a water buffalo cart ride. You can see on the bottom right there. So this is on Taketomi Island. It's a really short ride from Ishigaki Port. And the cart will wind through these really traditional streets and the driver serenades you while playing a traditional Okinawan instrument. So it's just a really great way to immerse yourself in that locality.
That's
I love the
amazing.
variety, right? Think about this. I think of mangrove kayaking. I'm thinking Key West, right? I'm in South Florida. and so it offers so much, right? It's incredible.
Yeah, you'll really
Goes your
see
way.
that difference in culture when you go there. It's just such a unique kind of destination when you go for that subtropical experience. But then you go up north to Hokkaido. So in the winter, this area is considered the skier's delight. But it's a great place to beat the heat in the summer as the temperature is just milder than the rest of the country. And in the spring, as it warms up, you get these gorgeous fields and flowers you can see on the bottom right there, parks with seasonal blooms. So you can catch those iconic spring flowers in some of these parks while you're in port. And also, The food here is kind of unmatched. I know every port has great seafood, of course, but Hokkaido's sort of in a league of its own. It's known for its crab, sea urchins, shellfish. It's also known for its ice cream and its miso ramen. So you're going to just have like a gut-busting time trying to
Yum.
everything.
That
here.
looks delicious. You had me at miso
That's a
ramen.
chef cruise right there. I mean, you got a little bit of everything. It's spectacular.
Yeah, it's really great. And also you can do whiskey and beer tastings while you're in port too.
I saw Sapporo, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So,
this nice cruise tour right here.
Absolutely. So, Princess has cruise tours, but we have cruise tours all around the world. And we also offer land for you to pair with your cruise in Japan. We do Japan cruise tours. How many of you knew that? Because you know us for Alaska cruise tours, but we also have them in Japan. So you can do 2 nights in Kyoto, 3 nights in Tokyo, the bullet train to Kyoto, which is amazing. And then 8 to 11 days at sea on a cruise. So pairing this all together, that does exactly what we talked about previously, which is make sure that you amortize your air and that you spend some time on land.
Mm-hmm.
Full immersion. Love it.
Yeah, so this is actually the most popular land itinerary, the Golden Route, which just gives you a great snapshot of Japan because you do get a little bit of everything. It's just a reverse version where you're starting off in Osaka. So I didn't talk about Osaka earlier because I just have to talk about it here. So it's a great place to kick things off. It's colloquially called Japan's Kitchen. It's known for those savory street foods. You can see like takoyaki, okonomiyaki. These pair really well with a cold glass of beer. That's one of my favorite things to have when I'm in town there. And actually the local creed in Japanese is kuidaore, which means eat till you drop. So,
what? This is my
like
spot.
I got to learn how to say that because I do eat till I drop.
Yeah, just it's
Awesome.
a great place to stuff your face. I do it every time I'm in port, in town. It's a foodie's dream, and it's got lots of great entertainment during the day. Like Osaka Aquarium is one of the largest aquariums in the world. Osaka Castle is in the city center, very accessible, and it's just gorgeous in any season. But if you're more into tradition, now we're getting onto the Kyoto side of things. So this is just next door. It's a quick train ride. This was the old capital of Japan for over 1,000 years, and they really proudly display their heritage. You've got 17 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, 2,000 temples and shrines, a great place for kimono dressing. You can get a rickshaw ride around town, enjoy that traditional architecture, try tea ceremony. It's got the premier geisha district that most people know of in Japan. And you can do that lovely day trip to Nara, to see those deer at the Nara Deer Park. They're very, very polite. If you bow to them, they'll bow back. They just want you to feed them afterwards. So it's a really, really great place to also do a sort of half day. Yeah. And then finally, after that is Tokyo. So this is a big one. So, of course, Tokyo is well known for its pop culture, shopping, fashion, tech. There's so many unique neighborhoods in Tokyo that it's really versatile with itineraries. You can go to temples and shrines. You can shop for funky street fashion. You can go bar hopping in nightlife district, go shopping for anime goods, relax in museums and parks. There's really something for everyone. And whatever kind of food you want to eat, again, with all of those Michelin star restaurants, Tokyo's probably got it, whether you want a luxurious rooftop dining experience, or you just want to go to your local pub, chow down on $10 ramen, and chug a bunch of local beer. Both experiences are really great.
I should
Rose,
have been with you.
We've got a question, Rose.
Sure.
Jeremy Heller wants to know, can you see cherry blossoms during Golden Week?
During Golden Week. So Golden Week typically is at the end of April and at early May. So typically for central Japan, you will see the cherry blossoms late March, early April. However, if you go to those colder regions up north, like Hokkaido, then you may be able to still catch them because they will sometimes bloom through early May. Certain species of cherry blossom also will bloom a little earlier and later. So if you can chase the blossoms up north, I would say you increase your likelihood.
Great question. Great answer. Thank you, Rose.
Excellent.
So we talked about Diamond Princess briefly, and I promised that we were going to talk to you about why she's so special. But Diamond Princess was built in Japan, and I remember when she was delivered to us, and all of the celebration and the ceremony and the pride that Japan had around Diamond Princess being built there in their country. Just an amazing ship, and she has such sentimental value for all of us. So
Absolutely
2,600. Well, 2,670 guests. So she's not her biggest, but she's not her smallest. She's right there in between. She's at 18 decks, 700 plus balconies, and she was refurbished in 2024. We also get that question quite a bit. So we've got these immersive experiences, and I think there was a picture Carmen shared where she was part of the sake barrel breaking ceremony. I didn't get to do that, Carmen, so you beat me there.
Marsha 10, Carmen 1. Hello.
But we, like in everything that we do at Princess, we immerse the local culture in experiences and cuisine, culinary opportunities. We immerse you in the local culture on our ships. So regional flavors get brought on board. We take great pride in having worked with the local Japanese culture there to make sure that our sticky rice is actually traditional sticky rice. And when our ship first came out, I remember the story, we didn't get the rice right originally. And our Japanese guests told us we weren't getting it right. And we, went to Japan and worked with the Japanese locals there to make sure that we got our Japanese sticky rice correct. So it is official. There's a great noodle bar. There's just so many different cuisine opportunities, and we make sure that we infuse it. Kai sushi, which we also have on other ships, but she is special on Diamond Princess. Sashimi, seafood, cocktails. I haven't tried that. Did you get a seafood cocktail, Carmen?
Ooh, I did. And I'll tell you, I did it there twice, and the chef came out and told us, this is fresh. I just got this morning. And it'll blow you away. It was spectacular, right? So that is the kind of authenticity that people look for. I love the sticky rice story because I'm telling you, my sticky rice was perfect. So now I know why. That's a great investment in the culture, right? In the tradition, and it's the authentic feeling, I think, and the way we bring the culture on board as well that really sets us apart, right?
Exactly. We don't wait for you to step off into the port. You're immersed immediately. And again, our commitment to the cultural experience, we have uzami Japanese baths, which are traditional in Japan. We've done a really good job of offering this specifically on the Diamond Princess. And again, that is why she is. Yeah, I didn't get to do this either. So tell us.
Oh my God. No, I didn't do it, but because it was booked. It had 80% Japanese on board. And this, I didn't even know. I think about it, but to have it on board and to see how this is like absolutely a staple when they do the bath experience. And it was just amazing, right? I'm like thinking to myself, wow, it's truly impressive and full.
Yeah.
It was great.
And there's men and women, they have separate facilities. And then there's one outdoor hot tub where suits are required. So that's for both. So for Japan 2026, we've got a sales toolkit for you for our travel advisors. Oops, sorry, this advanced on its own there. But there's a QR code, and then you can always go, if you're a travel advisor, to onesource.com. And our slides are having a mind of its own, because even though I want to stick here and give you guys some time on the QR.
It's always technical.
But quickly do your QR code. And we'll share again with you towards the end. And then also, huge thanks to Rose and to Japan, the Japanese National Tourism Organization, because they are such a great partner with Princess. We're so proud to be a partner with them. They have graciously said that if you have questions specific about Japan, that you can contact them at this email address that we're sharing here. It's info.lax@jnto.go.jp. Yes. So Rose, thank you so much. I've learned so much just listening to you share your experiences and your knowledge of Japan.
And she's going to stay around to answer questions.
She is sticking around. Yeah,
she's down for that. But thank you. We're always happy to work with you guys. We're just so honored to be able to be here and speak as well. Thank you.
Absolutely. So Rose will join us. Stick around because she's going to come back and answer more questions specific to Japan. Thank
and a
you,
very
Rose.
unique partnership. Thank you, Rose. She was amazing. Think about it. She
I
lived there
can't tell you how much I learned. I wish I could have been
I
taking
learned. I
notes.
want to go back. I feel like I only scratched the surface. First of all, I got to keep up with you, Marsha, Marsha, well, Carmen too. Okay, I
Do
mean,
the land,
seriously.
do the land.
That was
Along with the cruise.
absolutely. You have to immerse yourself in the land as well. So I got
Yeah.
to tell you, it was a work trip. That's why I'll have to go back
Yeah.
as a personal vacation. That way I
Yeah,
can
it's
relax
amazing. It's
and do the
definitely
back.
worth more than one trip.
Oh, I agree. I agree. And that was such an amazingly well presented, right? Because it was very
Yes.
detailed. I love the pace and I love all the information. It's fantastic.
About
So,
each of the ports and the cities. It's amazing.
correct. And the Michelin star restaurants, all the UNESCO sites, all that you can do. I mean, like that, it blows me away with the Four Seasons, all the, it's so cool. It was just super cool. I mean, there's a little bit of something for everyone for sure. So now we're going to shift gears to the Caribbean. This is my backyard. Ha ha.
Yeah.
And it is on sale now. So think about it. Woohoo is right. And by the way, we have had such a good year this year. Next, I know we're talking about 26, but when I talk about 25 and what great success we're having, not just in the Caribbean, but in Europe and the summer Alaska season, it is spectacular, right? So we're going to have 89 departures, 18 islands from 6 to 20-day voyages. I focus on the 6, Marsha, because I get a lot of folks that say, oh, I don't want to do a very long voyage. 6 is phenomenal. That's a perfect period of time. You got 2 ships doing it, folks, in the summer Caribbean, and 2 home ports. So very excited. On sale now. So we'll talk about a lovely 7-day Eastern Caribbean with St. Thomas. You'd be surprised. So, we talk about cruising, Marsha, and I don't know if you realize it. Every time I go to a consumer show and I ask folks, have you ever cruised? And they've said no. It still blows me away because we are in our infancy. So I've got to share that because most people think if you're a cruiser, it's common to you, right? You love cruising. You recognize and value, right, what you get when you're on a cruise versus doing land-based. And I think I had talked to you because in June I was doing a special party for a friend and I went to a land-based resort in Mexico. I'm not going to tell, it was a fortune. So when I talk about the value of doing a 7-day cruise where you are enjoying, first of all, the ease of going round trip from Fort Lauderdale, and that is a home port. There's so many flights to Fort Lauderdale, making it very affordable, right?
Yeah.
Round trip, but also that you're going to see Princess Keys, which is lovely. That's our own private island, which I loved when I joined here. I didn't even know we had our own. We had a private island before it was popular, just so that you know. We're authentic and original. And then you're doing San Juan and St. Thomas. So if you were to do this on a land-based experience, think about packing, unpacking, flying, because you got to get from point A to point B to point C. It's exhausting. So think about doing it with the families, big time for families, especially with our medallion experience. But I love, love, love this Eastern Caribbean itinerary. But I also love the way deployment was set up for us because we've got these availabilities. So whether you do 7 days, and we're going to talk about some of the ports of call, because you're going to click it forward. She's in control, folks. Yes,
so
she
you just
is.
talked about Princess Keys.
Beautiful.
The water sports, the foods, the drinks, the shopping. And then we've got this great aerial view of Princess Keys so that you can see what it's all about and where the different areas are. There's so many different areas there. The other great thing you talked about medallion is that your medallion, you can use your medallion there. If you have Princess Plus or Premier, those packages work on Princess Keys, which is amazing.
Fantastic. You don't have to bring out anything, no credit cards, no cash, no nothing. I happen to have been in one of the private sanctuary beach bungalows, which were phenomenal. They're limited, so I highly recommend you book them immediately. But you get, it's like the best of the Bahamas, right? Got a little bit of everything, but it's our own. So it's
gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. Oh, those crystal blue waters.
The medallion Wi-Fi, the medallion net Wi-Fi also works all around the island.
It was wonderful. And then more Eastern Caribbean options. Because again, it's all about, I talk about this all the time, every opportunity I get. It's about choices, right? Options, exclusivity. So exclusive access to our private island. But then you have lots of choices. So you can do 7 days with the Bahamas. So looking at Grand Turk and Amber Cove, which was beautiful. I did that with one of our sister brands. Again, and that's on Regal. Then you've got Turks and Caicos, Port Canaveral, coming soon, right? We're starting November. I'm so excited. Port Canaveral is huge. And when we do Port Canaveral, I always recommend, because most people, when they think of Port Canaveral, obviously Cape Canaveral, and they also think about Orlando, right? So I'm telling you,
Yes.
you can go see the mouse if you absolutely need to, but do him first, okay? Do all
And then
the
go
ferries
relax
and all the wonderful stuff before it, because it's exhausting. You're gonna
and
need
then have
that
a
7-day
vacation.
cruise.
You
You're gonna
are.
need it. And then Puerto Rico. So you look at all of these options, right? So you can,
Yeah.
if folks have already been to Puerto Rico, they might have been to San
Yes.
Juan already. They want to
Yes.
try Nassau, they want to try Amber Curve, Grand Turk. So we've given you lots of different options. And again, Fort Lauderdale and Port Canaveral. So home porting, for lack of a better term. We're very happy about that.
Reminder about San Juan, because we're back in San Juan and it's been 10 years since we offered it. So it's going to be amazing to be able to do round trip San Juan.
Absolutely. Super exciting. And then, of
And
course, Fort Lauderdale, when you look at the Western Caribbean, why I like it is because you can combine, right? This is the beauty of it. 7-day might not be enough. We have clients that want to do 14 days. So the ability to combine the Eastern and the Western, it allows us to really offer up a lot more deployment options, which is what clients want, right? Again, round trip Fort Lauderdale, Regal, or Port Canaveral on Caribbean Princess, which I've done Caribbean twice in a row for my vacation every December.
So this is a new one. This is a new one for me.
Beautiful. The ABCs. Oh my God. Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. So now, if you are a diver, Bonaire, I think, is a diving capital. And then you've got a UNESCO site too, right? With Willemstad and Curacao. Phenomenal itinerary. And again, round trip Fort Lauderdale. If you had to fly there, and I did, because I picked up a ship there in my honeymoon, I'd much rather be cruising. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Nice and easy.
ABC Islands. This is gorgeous. And then more Southern Caribbean, a 10-day with Martinique. Again, the 13-day Islander. This I love. This really combines everything. You got the ABC Islands, you got Grand Turk, San Juan. Let me tell you, to do this Amber Cove, Nassau, and Princess Keys in 13 days, this is like incredible. Look at Bonaire. You'd never think you'd see pink flamingos. I think of that at South Florida, right? I always do. Look at the beauty of St. Lucia and then Aruba. So if you go the extra day in a 14-day, which I've done, absolutely amazing. And with Grenada and Dominica and Barbados, just a lot to choose from. So here, I don't want to hear anybody say, oh, it's a typical Caribbean. We don't serve
so many choices.
Caribbean. We serve up Caribbean like nobody else does, right? With so many different options and combinations that no matter if you've done the Caribbean, you haven't done it with us. Ooh, Brightline.
Brightline, and talk about easy. That's a nice segue into Brightline and our partnership there. And Carmen, we actually did our webinar live from the unveiling of our partnership with Brightline.
It was exciting.
Carmen was on the train.
I had perfect Wi-Fi that everybody was really concerned about. So I got to see first. And by the way, all of these webinars we save, obviously, on One Source Cruises, because it's really important that you can go back to them if you want to reference them. Because obviously, we just touched upon it here in a slide, but we actually did a very in-depth. Actually, I did the webinar from the train. I felt
you
like
did.
It was like a child. This was first class seating all the way. I had food, drink.
You definitely went up to me there. I was so jealous. You were eating. You had a little, I think, coffee. You had everything going on over there.
I even had a little minor dessert, a little red velvet dessert, and it was
and the interior was beautiful.
So
the interior of the train is beautiful. Yes.
This is gorgeous. They've done an amazing line. So this rail and sail program is exclusive to us. Again, hassle-free to Princess Cruise Ports, whether it's Fort Lauderdale or Port Canaveral when we start in November. So I think this is incredible. This is perfect for groups as well. The Brightline team were really wonderful. So wanted to mention that. And we even offered them do a Brightline. Maybe we can do that in November, right? When we're back, when we're there with Caribbean Princess.
Okay.
So Caribbean tools, is it having a life of
Carmen.
itself again? It's doing its own thing,
It is.
isn't it?
It's technical again.
Okay.
So get out your phones quickly.
2026 itinerary, just like what we had. We give you all the tools. I'll tell you, what a great job Joe, Ann, and Brandon today is at the helm. Joe took a day off. Like, what's up with that?
You did.
Seriously?
And Brandon's doing fantastic.
Brandon's doing great. I think we replaced Joe. What do you think? It's gone smoothly, seamlessly. You know how that goes. I'm teasing everybody.
Brandon might disagree. Brandon might
Sorry,
disagree.
Brandon. It's okay. We're not throwing you under the bus. News, notes, and reminders. I love this part because I always like an inside scoop. Right?
Yes.
Part that.
Carmen, it's your favorite.
It pays to pause. This is my passion, right? Because having cruised on so many others that say they have, it does not compare. They pale by comparison. I don't want to get caught up in all the others. I always talk to you about it. So plus obviously is just $60 a day per guest, right? It's 50% off savings of what you are going to use anyway. Even if you don't drink alcoholic beverages, juice bars, just think about smoothies, juice bars, bottles of water, my latte in the morning. I have 2 in the morning alone. We actually have done this so that you know. Wi-Fi device, just a single. That's all I need. I have one phone.
Yeah.
And then gratuities. We include gratuities on that, and then everything else is additional. But we introduced just last week, right?
Yes.
And by the way, enhanced, because we talked about Medallion Net Max, okay? No added cost. This is being included not just with Princess Plus, but also Princess Premier. You cannot buy it if you wanted it, since before you wanted to buy Wi-Fi, you could do it individually. If you had a standard fare, not Plus or Premier bundles, you cannot buy this Medallion Net Max. You just can't get it.
That's true.
You just can't get it. And I'll tell you.
And we did not increase the price of Plus, even though that now includes the Medallion Max. There was a lot of questions around that.
Yeah. Well, and this brings the savings to more than 60% if you were going to do these all. Well, you can't do the enhanced, right? You cannot do Medallion Net Max unless you have Princess Plus or Princess Premier. It's absolutely we want to give more value to those bundles, to Plus and Premier. Game changing access, highest performance. And let me just tell you, I will tell you that my son says, I'm bringing my gaming stuff, Mom, because now I don't have to worry about it. I'm like, you're absolutely right. He did all his homework, as he normally does before he goes. So super excited about this introduction. And then Premier, right? Why it pays to Premier. 80 per person per day, but we got something special. Yes.
I'm sure you guys have heard.
This is unheard of. It's an additional $10 per person per day. By the way, I already went and added, because I'm going in December on Sunday.
Yeah.
I already added my $10 because I'm like, are you kidding me? For an all-inclusive, okay, are you kidding me? Unlimited Premier beverage package. Unlimited, did I say unlimited? We talked about enhanced, right? With Medallion 4 devices. My husband loves this because he brings an iPad. He brings 2 phones. I'm like, and you're retired? Like, seriously. He's retired. He's got more devices than I do. But absolutely love this specialty dining. First come, first serve. I always say that. Yes. Really important. But for $10 more, it was originally 80. Now it's 90 per person per day. It truly is the best package.
And I want to add in here, Carmen, that I'm sure you all have noticed that you can now confirm your specialty dining on the Princess app without paying in advance and getting your money later. Now, if you have Premier, you're able to either, if you're elite or platinum, then you can automatically do your dining right away once you've done deposit. Or if you final paid, then you have the access to your specialty dining, and there's no longer a need to pay in advance. If you have the right packaging, you don't have to pay. You just reserve.
It's like an epiphany, my friend. Let me tell you, this is one of the biggest pain points and a thorn in my side, because probably half my day was spent having to explain that the app could not, but I have Premier and I have 2 specials. Now you have unlimited. Now it's there. Folks, they fixed it. It's called work in progress. We're always evolving, right? Evolving to the best, newest, and better, right? So we kind of improve. Improvement is probably the spice of life where I'm concerned. And then obviously scan the QR codes. I know these QR codes, but this comparison chart is pretty spectacular. It's just been updated. So if you thought it was a value before, this is why it pays to Plus, pays to Premier, period. No other cruise fare package compares. Done the research. It's fact checking. We've done it. As a matter of fact, when we announced the new $90 Princess Premier, we have gotten such incredible press and coverage. And you know, the journalists will check it out. So we've got it there for them. Check it yourself. It is absolutely amazing. I highly recommend it. I don't travel without it, period. End of story.
Tried and true. And we have a little enhancement coming to princess.com. So
there's your insider scoop.
insider scoop. So what was formerly called or known as Cruise Personalizer has been renamed to Manage Booking. And we've made that change because it's self-explanatory to know what Manage Booking means. Cruise Personalizer wasn't often as easy to understand why I would go there. So Manage Booking is kind of an industry language, and everyone will now know where they need to go to manage their booking. That went into effect August 1st.
Fantastic. And then again, this weekend only, the special 4 days only. This is our boost, and it starts today. Up to $400 onboard credit, up to 40% off, third and fourth guest free, and 90. I mean, this is like throwing the kitchen sink up against the wall. Now is the time. August 22 to 25, 4 days only, phenomenal sale. And we've been testing a lot of these boosts. We've done them during the weekdays. We've done them during the weekends. So hopefully you're enjoying them. We hear from our travel partners you love these boosts and these limited time offers that are great, above and beyond the regular Love Boat sales that we offer, because we're offering so many deals. We'll have stuff, trust me, the Love Boat sale, better than best price guarantee. That ends August 28th, and soon enough we'll have our September, October, and then I don't want to talk about November, December, because I feel like the year's over.
We're going too fast.
Still, okay?
We need to slow down.
Wonderful, wonderful. And then the better than best price guarantee, it's booking with confidence. I mean, really, this was for obviously qualifying cruises July 1st through September 2nd, right? Available on 25, 26. This has been very well received. So something tells me there might be an extension. Where's my crystal ball? Because when when things are good, we like to extend them. I'm not giving you any forward-thinking information. I'm just, if it was me and I'm a marketer, I just pretty awesome.
All right. We
love
are to our Q&A.
And then if we can just leave up the slide with the QR codes, that'd be great, because I know we're almost at time. So I want to make sure that everybody can see the codes. If there are any questions, now's the time. And hopefully we'll bring Rose back in. Hi. We went as quick as possible, Rose.
All right.
I'm back.
Yay. All right. So let's take so I personally look at the pre-registration questions, guys, and pull out questions that have been asked multiple times, because I know then that'll be a popular question to answer for you all. And so we're going to go through those, and then if we have time, we'll pull a couple live as well. So what do you recommend we don't miss when visiting Japan? And I would assume that is for Rose.
And that's a tough question.
Might be for me. You can obviously share your experiences in the country and, you know, what you thought was unmissable. It's hard to say because there's so much, right? It's very difficult to pick. I'll say that the tip that I always give people, especially those who are lucky enough to get to go to all these different ports, is take advantage of the locality with cuisine. So, for example, if you love seafood, even if you're not a morning person, wake up early, get the entire experience of going to those fish markets. If you're not a fish person, swing by the small local shopping arcades and you'll duck into these local mom and pop shops that have sweets that are local to the area or freshly brewed regional teas. Just the regionality is so distinct at every port that you've got to take advantage of it everywhere you go.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't pick one thing, you know?
I know. But great answer, Rose.
Oh, is there a kid club on Japan cruises? The answer is yes, because I saw a lot of adorable children when I was on, right?
It does have a kids program, and that sometimes there's not a whole lot of children on. So depending on the number of children that are sailing, will determine if they have the full program offering. But you can always ask, and we're always kid friendly. Always.
And when I was on, they had a lot of kids, so it was fabulous. Can we take one more, or are we good?
Okay, well, pre-booked Sanctuary Collection guests need to pay the extra $10 per person per day to upgrade to the new Premier. That answer is yes. So, and actually, this question is specific about Sanctuary Collection, but it actually is the same answer for anyone who had Premier previously.
That's correct.
So if you had the original,
we had it right. Our family, 18,
and you did the upgrade.
December 28th, we're sailing. I did not hesitate to upgrade to the extra $10. Believe you, first up.
Yeah, there are codes available on OneSource so that you can actually apply the code to do the upgrade in an automated fashion. So you don't have to call in. You can do it on Polar Online.
Fantastic.
All right.
I know we're at time, so I want to thank you, Rose, for joining us. You did such an amazing job bringing Japan to life, immersing us in the culture, the experience Oh, and the plethora of activities and options. I mean, it is like, it blows me away. And I've been there. And I feel like I've only scratched the surface. So looking forward to going back. Thank you for joining us. And obviously, Marcia, my sidekick, you're alone next time.
I am.
All alone. Marcia will lead the next webinar because I'll be traveling. But we'll be back then, right? That's right after Labor Day. I can't believe it. September, right around the corner.
It's right
So
on our
thank
heels.
you. Thank you
Thank
all
you, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you so much.